Wait a second, before we get too far into this tutorial, we need to make sure that they remember to like and subscribe to Yo Mama's channel, right? Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name is Maleigh of MLAartistry, and this is my daughter, Kagan. You want to say hi?
Hi.
And she's actually going to help me today because I wanted to teach you how to trim your kids' hair at home during quarantine. I realized that my daughter has very, very beautiful, luscious curls. This is soaking wet. We just got done detangling. Most of my clients in particular, their kids have straight hair. So in order for them to benefit from this tutorial, we are going to flat iron her hair. We'll blow it out, flat iron, get a really good silk press in for her to have straight hair so I can show y'all how to trim straight hair. Now, if your kid has curly hair and you're wondering, should I cut it when it is like dried, styled naturally with a curl, or am I able to cut it when it's flat ironed? How you can differentiate between what is the best method would be, for instance, to check the curl pattern. Kagan has super consistent curl pattern throughout her whole hair, which means the curls are the same on this side as they are on this side as they are on the back. So I can cut her hair straight, and then when she wears it curly, it's still the same consistent cut. Does that make sense? You get it? Okay, well then they'll get it. If you get it, they'll get it, right? We're gonna blow dry it. This part is really important because you want to blow dry out if you're starting with a curly consistency like this, you're gonna want to blow dry really close to the scalp so that you don't have like those curls right at the base and then have the flat iron everywhere else, because you can only get the flat iron so close to the scalp. So blowing the hair out really helps with this process because it helps to pull the hair right by the scalp, nice and smooth. Let's go, girl. You ready? We're ready. Before we get to blow drying, we're going to put in some products, and I'm going to start with the Cune Care Absolute Volume Thermal Protectant, and this is going to be a heat protectant for today's hot tool styling portion. That was kind of like almost a tongue twister, but okay. So we have that one. Then we have this beauty right here, and this is the So Pure Natural Balance Defrizz Shine Serum. This is going to add some moisture to the locks and then also help to counteract frizz. And then I'm going to go in with the Diva Curl Ultra Defining Gel. The reason I'm using this, just a small amount, is so that when I finish styling the hair, it's going to help to hold the hair smooth for me, because I need some hold power because she has super, super bouncy curls. Honestly, this is just kind of the concoction I feel like works best for us.
Ready and go.
Let's go. Spray. Work it through the hair.
I told you it was good.
Man, you did so good. So Kagan actually turns 6 tomorrow, and part of her turning 6 goals was to be able to detangle all of her hair by herself. So today she shampooed, conditioned, detangled everything all by herself, and I'm so proud because that is a lot of hair. Just saying. So I did 2 pumps of the Defrizz Shine Serum. I'm going to work from mid shaft to ends and then carry it up like so. So beautiful. Oh, I love your curls though. So we have this thing where we only allow Kagan to wear her hair curly like once every 3 months, because I think it is so important to embrace your natural curls and like natural beauty, and this is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Tomorrow's your birthday, so special occasions.
Yeah, and it would look good with my dress I am wearing.
That is very true. You want to tell them about your dress?
Yep, it is pink. Well, really light pink.
To begin blow drying her hair, I'm going to section just to work in small areas. That way I can get super close to the scalp. Like I said, to pull that nice and smooth. I will be using the Dyson blow dryer today and a square brush. The reason a square brush is so helpful when blowing out curly hair is because it has an edge. So when you get like half of a turn, you get extra tension on the hair, so it pulls it out nice and smooth. So for example, you want to put it close to the scalp, and then you're going to turn. You feel how much tension is on that, Kagan? Like, give me your head, girl. And that's going to help us to really smooth out this section. now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flat iron her hair. When I do this, I want to make sure I kind of cater it to her part, just for styling purposes. Look up, baby. So I'm just going to go from the middle of her nose back. The reason for that is because when I go to trim her hair, I want it to be able to where she can flip to both sides, because with her curly hair, sometimes she'll wear it this way, sometimes she'll wear it the other way. So if I were to cut and cater to one specific part, when she flips it the other way, her haircut wouldn't be really consistent. In order to flat iron, I work in really small sections because I really want to press this hair all the way out, and I want every section to be nice and smooth. If you have a child who has naturally straight hair but she sleeps on it, or they go and play outside and come back in and it's a little wavy, do not cut their hair while it's wavy. Flat iron it out and cut it then, because it is impossible to get a straight cut on wavy hair, and especially if it's just from playing or sleeping, it's not going to have that same wave every day. For the flat iron today, I'm using the FHI Professional Series flat iron. This is hands down my favorite flat iron ever. I'm going to turn the temperature all the way up to the highest setting. Now, if you move slower, or you feel like you're probably going to move slower because you don't do this regularly, drop the heat setting, because you don't want to have it too hot and you moving really slow and causing heat damage to the hair. To hold the hair, I'm going to use this comb right here. It is one of those amazing carbon combs that will not melt when applied with heat. I'm going to section the hair. I'm going to stick the comb in, and I'm just going to press like so. Now I'm going to be moving a little slower on this section because I'm a little impatient and the flat iron is not fully heated up. If you see steam coming off, don't be alarmed. That is the product in the hair, so it's just part of it.
And I'm also so sad because he has to cut my hair.
That's a really great thing to talk about right now. Kagan said that she's a little sad that we have to trim her hair. And one thing that is very important to know when it comes to your hair trims is actually trimming your hair more helps your hair to grow, because it keeps it in a healthier state. If you don't get a haircut for like 2 years, you're going to have split ends at the end of your hair, and over time and styling and all of that, the splits on the ends are going to kind of like go up the hair shaft, and before you know it, your bottom's going to start looking super see-through because you've had a lot of breakage. So then you actually have to cut more off. I like to tell my clients, kind of give them the visual. If you imagine a broken straw, when you go to drink out of that broken straw, you never can get whatever it is you're drinking from one end of the straw to the other. Reason being, there's a break in the straw. When your hair grows out of the scalp, it is dead. Over time, you're gonna have a little bit of damage. Whenever you get those split ends, you wanna go in and reseal it, because if not, it's going to break up the hair shaft and it's going to be just like a broken straw, to where your nutrients from your scalp can never make it to the ends. And then your ends are dry all the time. They're more compromised. They're more likely to break. So hair trims are actually really, really great. Even if you go in and get a baby trim. I have some clients that come in every 4 to 6 weeks just to get a trim, and we will cut off the smallest amount, and it's just to reseal the ends so that they have no breakage, and that promotes hair growth. It's pretty cool, huh? Mm-hmm. Now this hair is going to be very hot from the flat iron, so that is why I like this comb, because I can hold it out before I drop it, let it cool a little bit, because you don't want to throw hot hair on your kid's skin. Isn't that right, babe? Mm-hmm. So pretty.
But I also love my curly hair.
Yes, that's very important, right?
Mm-hmm. You should love your natural hair.
Very much so. So that's part of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And everything about you is very special. Kagan, how do you feel about this whole quarantine situation?
I do not like it.
No, what do you not like about it?
What I don't like is that we don't get to see our friends. We don't get to see our nice family teachers that we like. Mm-hmm. And that mostly we don't get to see our friends.
Because we haven't been able to do birthday parties either, right? Mm-hmm. But tell them what we're going to do for your birthday.
What we're going to do for my birthday is have a princess party, but actually no one's going to be here. So it's really just going to be me, Mommy, and Daddy. Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do tonight before we wake up to your princess day?
We're going to watch a movie.
Yeah, we're going to have a movie night at the house, eat some ice cream. There we have it. One side is flat ironed. Look how smooth and shiny. So gorgeous. Now that we have the straightening portion complete, we are now going to trim. Now, if you're not really sure how much needs to come off, You can look at the ends, and whatever looks a little see-through, that's what you need to remove. For me, I can see through like right there, and you can see she's got a little bit of a breakage right here, so I'm going to want to clean this up and kind of blend it into her perimeter. So for the trimming portion, I'm going to work by sections. We're going to do the back and then the two sides separate. So right where her ear is, you're going to want to go from the part up top to the back of the ear, like so. All right, now that I got that section, I'm going to just clip this front section forward out of my way. So I have this back section, and then I'm going to go do that on the other side also. So from the part straight down to the back of the ear. So as you can see, we now have our back section. Depending on what type of chair you are using, you can see this back actually goes up higher. Sit over here for me, I want to show them something. But if I were to have her there and have her hair hanging, it's actually over directed, and that's really hard to get a clean cut. I could have her lean back slightly, but the biggest thing is you do not want them to be sitting in a chair that the hair is over directed and then you're trying to cut a straight line while it's like that, because when you drop it and it's not on the chair, it's not going to be a straight line. And then you're going to keep cutting and cutting and cutting. I'm going to have her sit up really tall just like she is. You can see her posture, very tall. And then I'm going to have this hair hang over the back just like so. And she is going to be very still for me. This is not Kagan's first cut, so she knows. We have been doing Kagan's hair since she was just a few months old, so she's a very seasoned client. We get her trims regularly, like every 3 months, I would say. Okay, I'm going to try really hard to stay out of y'all's way during this portion, but what I'm going to do is really just take off about that much of it. You can use your comb to help guide if that's easier for you. So if you would like, you can kind of comb this into the hair and cut that way. Now I would work from one side to the other, or you can work from the middle, whichever you're more comfortable with. So I'm just gonna comb the comb down, pick my point, and then just cut. Now I recommend using a comb instead of holding it with your finger, because sometimes you would pull too tight and when you let go, the line will be a little off. So you want to use consistent tension throughout, which is why I like to just kind of hold it with the comb and cut. And then we're going to do this side. Hold on, I got to get over here. Can y'all still see? So I'm just combing it down and cutting. All right, so from here, what you're gonna wanna do, let me get back on my side. In order to execute a good trim, you do not wanna skip this step. You're gonna have your kid look all the way down, so look at your toes. Are you looking all the way down, baby? Mm-hmm. So when you comb all this, you're gonna see these little hairs hanging out underneath. Do not leave those, otherwise it's not a good haircut. So I'm just gonna take it, hold it lightly, soft hands, and cut into that. Soft hands, cut into that. Now I'm going with the perimeter that I have cut, so if your child's tilting a little bit, the line may look a little bit off. Don't worry about that. Follow your guide from your previous cut. Okay, I gotta get in front of y'all real quick to make sure my line is good. Are you looking straight? Mm-hmm. Right there, thank you. Now you can always go back and check and just gently hold and take off the center if it's a little curved. If you have a child that's prone to moving or anything of that nature, just make sure you are always watching for their head to stay looking straight ahead. This front section of hers was a little longer just because we had blended in breakage on this side, so you can see this corner is a little bit shorter than that one. So I'm actually going to kind of start tapering into this side because I need to blend that into this side, into this front section that had a little bit of breakage, so it's a little shorter. And then I want to do the same thing over here so she's nice and balanced no matter how she wears her hair. So what I'm going to do over here is just, you can see the shortest point is right there, so I'm going to come over here and work from that shortest point and just take that corner off. I'm kind of cutting into it so I don't have like a super bold line right there. Like so. I'm going to drop this front section And if they did not have any breakage and you didn't have to do that slight taper, or you didn't want to do the slight taper, to blend in this front section, I just had her turn sideways so you can kind of see her hair better against the black. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the back section down the middle, pull this to the side, because we're going to want to blend in the back section that was cut to the front. But again, check their head position, because she is looking down right now, which means this is all going to look longer. So I'm going to have her look straight ahead. And now you can see how that was a little shorter. So I'm just going to blend that together. Now, if they don't have breakage and you just want a nice trim, you would just bring this section and then cut straight across right there to have a nice clean cut. Keep your head very straight for me, hon, okay? So I'm going to go for my last section cut, which is right here. Take that off. Now this is kind of over directing on this chair, so I need her to kind of lean a little closer. It would honestly be better if you picked a chair that doesn't have a back. That way you don't even have to worry about that part. Cut that corner off. And then I'm going to need to blend this little taper and breakage in a little better. So what I'm going to do is just pull that section. I'm going to go from the shortest point to get those ends nice and fresh and resealed and blend it down. So I'm essentially just connecting the shortest point to the longest point to get that cleaned up. All right, much better. So now we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. So I'm going to push this section out of my way. Now we are going to do the same thing on this side. Chin straight. Perfect. Comb it all together to where it was last cut, which is right here. So I'm going to connect again the fresh trim section and basically just make a straight line going forward. And then from there, we're going to take the shortest part of her breakage and we're basically going to draw a diagonal line. If you were to draw a line, we're just going to cut these edges off right here. I'm just going to connect the longest part of that fresh trim to the shortest. And I'm cutting into the hair so I do not have a really bold line. Then I like to have them face forward just so I can check the perimeter to make sure it looks consistent on both sides. So you have fresh locks for the rest of your quarantine. Ooh, girl. You look good. Let me get you closer to the camera. Ooh, girl. You look good. How do you feel?
Great.
Wow. Do you like it?
It's turning out trimming isn't so bad for your hair.
It's not so bad. Trimming is not bad for your hair. Yes, I want your hair. Give me your hair, girl.
Yeah.
You feel sick yet?
Yep.
I mean, it's about to happen tomorrow.
Yep. Tomorrow's my birthday.
So if y'all want to send Kagan a happy birthday message in the comments or anything of that nature, please feel free to do so. I would love to read them to her. And thank you so much for helping me today. You did great. If you have any questions about this tutorial, please drop them below. Do not just do a thumbs down because you didn't understand something. Please communicate with me because I am here to help. High five. Let's go. Woo! All right, we'll see you here next time.
Bye. You know my buys are funny, so.
Get out of here.